Oldham again, trying to change the angle. Oh, good one, and Barrett! Earl Barrett, the scorer. What a mess for Manchester United. What a delight for Oldham Athletic. Hughes. Barrett. Bruce. And Robson! It's 1-1. Phelan. Slightly stubbed it, but it comes to Gibson. And it's Webb. Irwin. Redfern got away. It's good cross. Marshall! What an unbelievable day this is. Nicked away by McClare. Useful for Wallace. Test of his pace, now test of his finish. And he's equal to both. Milligan. Yes, the space here for Marshall. And Palmer's far side. It's all square again.
Welcome once again to Main Road for the latest chapter in this Cup extravaganza. Yes, 3-3 on Sunday. What on earth is going to happen here tonight? There's a wonderful atmosphere. If anything, the atmosphere might even be better than it was here on Sunday afternoon. Full house, of course. Due course. And Jimmy Hill's here with us, as ever. What do you think is going to happen tonight then, Jim? What's your feeling about the match? The impartial tend to think that Oldham might at long last have shot their bolt.
I don't think their legs will go to water in a cup match. I mean, when I made that prediction about them going over the hill, it was in relation to the league and the lack of excitement. But with the atmosphere here, they're going to keep running, aren't they? Having got so far, and the second appearance at Wembley round the corner, and the method in which they all believe, and they all believe in their manager, they're a very solid outfit, you know. And United have got to overcome that, and they've got to be at their very best in order to beat a second division team.
We'll take a full check on the team in due course, but Danny Wallace starts the match for Manchester United tonight.
Yes.
Is that significant?
I think it's an advantage, because when he came on, he received the ball better. He was a threat with pace up front, as when he scored the goal, and gave them a bit more shape than they'd had. One of their problems, I think, was that Mark Hughes had a bad game. You know, they couldn't link off him, and they weren't getting the team forward as a whole. I don't think really he's going to play like that again tonight. I mean, I think he will have learned from...
He might have had a bad game, because Earl Barrett was outstanding in the heart of the Oldham defence, wasn't he?
Yes, the country fell in love with cup football on Sunday. I think they also fell in love a little bit with him, because he's such a clean player. He's tall, he has height, he wins balls in the air, he's got good pace, he's only 22 years of age, and Bobby Robson's here tonight. I mean, we can do with central defenders who can move a bit. And also, he sifts the ball off them. He doesn't bludgeon his way through as a defender.
Who are the other key players for Oldham, do you think, tonight?
Well, Milligan and Henry are powerhouse in midfield. They really are two wonderfully mobile and determined midfield players. And of course, the Marshall up front. I mean, that nice young man who hit a wonderful goal there, and also made the last for them with that perfectly curled left foot cross. So,
before we head to Barry, what's your feeling?
United have got to be at their best to beat what I think is the better team, the more solid team at the moment. If United play as the team, eliminate the mistakes which have played such a part in those 13 goals. Nice to have 13 goals, but remember how many mistakes brought them about.
That's all right, I'll take the mistakes and my goals.
We'll take the lot.
Yeah.
If we're in for, as you said on Saturday, a match half as good as that is going to be all right, well, we're in the same position. We're in the same position.
Exciting, isn't it?
We are getting quite excited about it, and so are the people out there.
Thanks, Jimmy. Here's Trevor Brooking now, along with Barry Davies.
The crowd expectant as we get our first look at the ball boys leading out the throng. The referee has two different linesmen with him, Barry Furman and Jeff Banwell. Barry Furman on the right. Smiling Joe Worrell. Well, it seemed to me there were many tight-lipped faces among the players then. Brian Robson felt that he came off too soon in the first match. And let's just check on the teams. I think Joe Royle could have picked his on Sunday night, but I asked him if there were any changes. He said simply, would you make any? His team played so well, proving for the doubters that they could play as well on grass as on plastic. Andy Ritchie will have an extra game under his belt, and that could be significant for them. And I wonder whether we see Rick Holden showing his true form rather earlier than he did on Sunday afternoon. So it means that the inclusion of Danny Wallace is the only change in Act 2 of the Main Road drama. His presence, though, causes a number of numerical changes in the Manchester United lineup. Paul Ince will wear number 2, Neil Webb, the shirt that he likes, number 8, and Wallace, the one that he likes, number 11. The man who stands down is Colin Gibson, who now joins Robbins on the substitutes bench. Danny Wallace, I'm sure he thought that he'd scored the winner when Brian McClare played him through in the 92nd minute. His expression suggested that, but it was not to be, because Palmer came back with the equaliser, and a deserved equaliser 2 minutes into the second period of extra time. It's a good theatre for the occasion, Main Road. And everybody hoping that the match will be as good as Sunday's. Brian Robson won the toss in the first match. Usual pose for the photographers. Old Barrett, about whom Jimmy and Des were talking, had an outstanding game. It seems a long time ago that it was his miscue which seemed to have sent Everton on their way in round 5. Remember, Sharp scored then. But Sharp, not a word one would use about Mark Hughes on Sunday. Hasn't yet scored in this season's FA Cup competition. But the last time United went to a replay, that was against Liverpool in 1985. It was Hughes who scored the winner. The teams will start the replay the same way as they started the first match. Manchester United attacking the goal to our right. Webb took a little time to settle down. Not surprisingly, but got better as the game went on. Hughes drifts wide. Webb, Wallace. It's been an inspired moment, and that tested the goalkeeper. Little donkey flip. Rick Holden once again being marked by Mike Phelan. No change in the tactics there. Clare out on the right, a little bit of pushing. Challenge on Webb by Nick Henry. Oh, that was a little uncomfortable for Holden. This is Redfern. Ritchie, and Lee Martin is the player who wins out. Lee Martin, who wears number 3. But he won out unfairly. Free kick to be taken for Oldham by Dennis Irwin. Marshall trying to come in, so was Holden further back, Andy Holden. One or two complainants in the crowd, but not among the players. Holden has had a long struggle with injuries all the way through the season. Back for 3 games. Seemed to be fitting the pace a little bit towards the end, I think, on Sunday afternoon. The windmill was Hughes. Marshall and Pallister, the goalkeeper, is available. That's well played. It's behind the goal. But if Jim Leighton came out feeling a little unsettled, that will not have helped him. Mistake by Pallister, who made some early mistakes again in the first match. But the angle was too tight for Marshall to cause real damage.
Jimmy Hill said, wonder if we were going to get a game of mistakes, and there was nearly one early on. Just as far as tactics, Manchester United playing Neil Webb in a similar role to what they did on Sunday, a 3-1 just behind Mark Hughes. Danny Wallace, though, lined up on the left-hand side, whereas when he came on, he did most of his damage down the right. So that's just the one switch. He's really came in as a straight swap for Colin Gibson.
Free kick against Brian Robson. Claims to the referee that he won the ball, but not before he had impeded the challenge of Barrett. Andy Holden takes. Goal kick. United with Hughes in the inside right position and Wallace tucked in the inside left. Owen is with Wallace, had come inside with him. Holden with Hughes. And this is Paul Ince. Thought was the pick of the United players in the first match. Good cover by Redfern. Not the best of touches by Owen. Strong challenge by Martin. Goal kick. Cover by Barrett. Owen. Redfern, who wanted it earlier than that. Not from Owen, but from Barrett. Martin in trouble. Ritchie behind him. Good challenge that was by Mike Phelan on Rick Holden. Needed to be two.
It was interesting because, in fact, the first goal on Sunday came from a similar cross. If you remember, Mike Phelan stumbled a bit. They got the corner, and that's when the opening goal came. So that was a good, positive covering by Michael Phelan there.
Ball had gone out, said the linesman. And here is an Oldham corner, right on cue. 5 minutes and 33 seconds played. And the goal on Sunday came just on the 6th minute. Barrett, who was the scorer, was the bookies rating of 50 to 1. He's coming in for it now. Off! That came off the post. And United not looking too comfortable on the cover of the post. This is a promising break for them, though. Oh, it would have been if McClare hadn't turned his back on the ball. Webb. Good cover. Barrett. And so far, Andy Holden has taken Hughes more often than Barrett in these opening minutes.
I think Andy Holden likes to mark somebody, and of course when they're only playing one up like Hughes, it's probably better for Earl Barrett, who's so quick and speedy in the recovery, to be the spare man, and then he can fill in whichever gaps develop.
Here is Barrett, who for the record is not the fastest player in the Oldham squad. He's very much second best to Paul Warhurst, one of the two substitutes. Even so, Barrett is very quick. Marshall to Holden. Second touch was disappointing for him, but he's got a corner. That's the one from the corner that hit the post, and Leighton arrived well after that hit had taken place. And the cover on the post was really not very good. Holden, out by McClare. Oh, and off the underside of the crossbar from Nick Henry. Unlucky Oldham. As soon as McClare headed that out, he looked with concern because the ball went straight to Henry, who struck it back. It came off the underside of the crossbar with the goalkeeper well beaten, and then bounced into Leighton's arms. Super start this by the second division side again. And I'm not surprised that Leighton is being given a feel of the ball by one of his own teammates. Did strike it well, and it had beaten the goalkeeper. Maybe he got half a touch to it, but even so, maybe he just pushed it under the underside of the bar.
I think Jim Leighton did actually get the faintest of touches, and that's all it needed to take it onto the crossbar. But two escapes really, one the corner kick, which everyone left, and bounced off the post and could easily have hit, I think it was Ian Marshall on the near post, and bounced back into the net. And then again there, a great strike by Nicky Henry. Faintest of touches from Jim Leighton. Everyone, hands went up, Oldham supporters wondering whether it would cross the line. I don't think it was. Joe Worrell was in a perfect position to see Wade play on.
Webb, Hughes, McClare to the right. Michael Henry is everywhere. That's a good ball though. Webb! Out by Holden. Every promise here of Sunday afternoon continued. Wallace. Phelan has come up. Holden marks him, but Phelan had moved too soon, and the offside flag comes up. Webb shot, and I must say it was knocked down by John Hallworth, but he seemed to make a little bit of a meal of it. Didn't hang on to it, and it caused further problems. Push. Little obstruction. Indirect free kick given. The referee's arm aloft, and we're just coming up to the 10th minute. Owen crossed it early. Interesting throw off the back of Phelan. Good claim by Jim Leighton. Full of enterprise, this Oldham side.
A great show of confidence, wasn't it? I mean, they have made an excellent start, and it just shows how bubbly they are to just take a cheeky throw in like that, play a 1-2 off the back of Michael Phelan. I shouldn't think he was too pleased.
Barlow, arms pumping, gets there first. The corner phrase, we have promise here of a cracker. Hallworth. And passing word with Barrett. Bit of leaning on by Pallister, but adjudged evens by referee who was right there. Campbell. Hughes shakes his head, but for a brief moment then he played a little basketball. Nice control by Brian Robson. Good play by the United skipper. Webb. Free kick against Phelan, who caught Andy Holden. Milligan. Ron Wilson complains to Joe Worrell. Dennis Owen, Nero Redfern. Getting forward quite a lot in the opening moments, Neil Redfern on the right side of the Oldham midfield. That's Barrett's. Chase for Marshall. Play on, says the referee. Ball safely in the arms of Jim Leighton anyway. Header by Hughes, not the best of passes from Leclerc. The idea was to get Wallace in, obviously. That's a good ball by Phelan. Leclerc again, 3 waiting. Corner off Andy Holden. United's first coming in the 13th minute. Danny Wallace has come across to take it as Nick Henry stands by the near post, where he'll be joined now by Gary Pallister. Marshall alongside Pallister. Barrett to McClare. Pallister pulls away. Oh, they all left it, and it comes to Ince. Neither side looked particularly good on that corner, to tell the truth. Milligan. 2 against 2 forward. And the challenge on Milligan was a little late. Holden not looking comfortable on the ball. Free kick, charge in the back by Barlow. Some of the cheers are of an ironical nature against the referee. Well played, Henry. And Ince. Fast and at times fierce. This is Hughes. Well struck. But Holworth not to be moved from the near post. It went out for the corner.
Mark Hughes actually looking much sharper, much more positive this evening than he did all of Sunday, and once or twice now has just got behind the Oldham defence and Andy Holden.
United's second corner. Again, Wallace to take. Slightly too many cooks. Bruce and Robson got a little in each other's way. Milligan in possession. Oh dear, that's a bit loose. And Barrett has to hurry. And increases pace like a thoroughbred. Flag stays down, but Marshall couldn't take the ball. Bruce complains to the linesman.
Well, Michael Phelan, the right back, was a little bit slow coming out, and it was him that the linesman decided play the 2 Oldham forwards on.
Ritchie. Barlow. Pace of the game and the movement of the ball just a bit too much then for the Oldham left back. Incidentally, if you've just tuned in expecting drama, we have drama here at Main Road, but the only JR is Joe Royal, the manager of Oldham Athletic. I'm afraid tonight is not a night for Dallas because of this FA Cup semi-final. Hughes is offside.
Notice Danny Wallace just wandered over, decided to swap with Brian McClare coming over on the right-hand side, have a go at Andy Barlow, because that's where he did have one or two good runs, and of course scored the third goal for United.
Henry. Again, there was a clear threat from Ian Marshall. Well, he looked and then gave it away. Wallace back on the left, didn't stay too long on the right. Maybe there was a shout from the bench with a Scottish burr. Clare, nice little header for Phelan. Real hounder of the ball and the opposition, little Nick Henry. Webb. Barlow.
It was a good example there of the slightly more withdrawn role Webb's playing. Really, on Sunday he was playing much closer to Marquis, whereas this evening he's playing right in midfield.
This is Andy Ritchie. Presence of Robson just sufficient. And now back running forward. Sorry about that one. Leighton narrowed the angle. And the shot across the face of the goal. Pace of Robson. He made up a lot of ground then and arrived just in time with a little bit of a lean. Barrett underneath it and was beaten by Hughes. Barrett again, difficult to see a player who's not marked. And that rather emphasises the point. United have pushed right up and condensed the space. We've had 20 minutes, have plenty of activity, but as yet, no goals. Oldham certainly have been the nearer to scoring. The tip over by Jim Leighton, or tip onto the crossbar by Jim Leighton of Nick Henry's shot. Caught in two minds, but look at his speed of recovery. Joe Royle sitting in the crowd, as he tends to do in the first half, and sometimes for a deal longer than that. Goalkeeper's ball. No, it's not. Kick against Phelan for the challenge from behind. United playing their 7th semi-final replay. For Oldham, it's uncharted territory. Out by Bruce, Milligan. There was no real width. And the free kick is against Redfern for a bit of a push on Martin. Incidentally, of the previous 6, semi-final replays, United have won 3 and been beaten on 3 occasions. Good chest trap, but the ball given out, that seemed a little harsh, I must say. All of the ball has to cross the line. I'm sure that's precisely what Mark Hughes said to the linesman. Foot was high. Free kick is given. Dangerous play, indirect free kick. Though in truth it would be some achievement to score directly from here. Milligan. 4 up for Oldham. Webb in front of the United back 4. Good running by McClare, and he was well found. Foot that got a touch belonged to Barlow.
Andy Barlow there, jogging back's got to be very aware. That was the same run that, in fact, Danny Wallace made. This time it was Brian McClare in from the right, through the middle, and just caught Oldham a little bit flat, and could easily have got through there.
Deserved applause for Paul Ince. And the free kick was given. It is taken. That's Holden's. Robson. Lee Martin. Forward claims. And there was a foot up there, and the referee has a quick look, but let's play continue. Cover was by Webb.
Milligan and Henry find it very difficult to get that little bit of space that they seem to find on Sunday. Ince, Webb and Robson playing so close together that they're nullifying them at the moment.
Get the impression too, Trevor, that after the early alarms, United are denying space to the front players of Oldham. Bit of an arm up from Marshall. The flag is up for offside against Ritchie. Robson was hoping to break forward. And as he ran forward, was looking at Webb all the time while still making forward motion. Barlow, lovely turn. Offside. Jim Leighton being required to play as a sort of sweeper then. Sonny's had to come out several times. Now the back 4 really are pushing up. From Dennis Owen. Ritchie denied by Webb. Hughes looks to the right. Phelan won't make that. Phelan has to look to see where Holden has gone, which was a point that rather preoccupied him when United had possession then. 2-2. The two of United wins. Barrett's header, but the flag is up for offside against Webb. Marshall just got a nod on. Certainly no time to stand and stare. Ball curling a bit, and Bruce decided to come away from it, and here's Marshall. Good positioning by Jim Rayton. That hurt Marshall a bit. I think that Steve Bruce would have been a little relieved. Ball curled away and he decided to cover the ground rather than go for the ball in the air. Marshall suddenly had some room. Wallace. Phelan starts to make the run. Rick Holden is with him. Phelan wins it, and Milligan. Fine clearance by the Oldham captain. But denied Brian Robson. Phelan certainly looked as though he would be second best for that ball, but Holden didn't keep his eyes on it. And Phelan got a foot round and Milligan saved his team. Pallister, challenged by Marshall. Redfern, chased by Ince. Too much on the ball from Redfern. Pace is unrelenting. Football is by no means totally classic, but it's again an exciting encounter. Phelan did awfully well to win that. Holden shouldn't have let him, but Milligan did the best of the three. We've had the first half an hour. No score. Corner number 4 for Manchester United. Wallace has taken them all. Webb found Milligan there as well as the ball. Played by Phelan. Redfern, if he can switch it right, but he couldn't, because Phelan was quickly at him. Holden was slightly casual, but he managed to find Marshall in a slightly curious manner. Casual by Webb. Marshall again. Too strong for Redfern. But at this pace, mistakes are inevitable. Is up for offside, but the free kick will not be for that, but for the challenge that was made on Barrett. United holding a line right on the 18-yard line. Marshall's the first to move. Barrett is in the middle. Won by Pallister. Andy Barlow. Henry. Milligan. Free kick is given against Rick Holden.
There's Rick Holden. It's, again, a bit like Sunday, find it difficult to get into the match so far. He didn't really get into it till extra time or late on in the 90 minutes. Michael Phelan playing him very well, and it was Michael Phelan who set up that almost opportunity for Brian Robson, and Michael Milligan did superb to hook it away.
Still played by Hughes. This is Wallace. The referee looked, gave nothing. But Wallace stays down hurt in the area. Now comes out and gets up. Did it the other way around, actually. Ran into a wall of human bone. Redfern is a little lucky, might still be trouble. Milligan, Redfern, Milligan.
Manchester United working very hard. Gradually, you feel, just taking a little bit of a hold on the game. After that first 10-15 minutes when Oldham came so near to taking the lead, Manchester United just seem to be getting a little bit better and better as the match goes on.
Robson. It's too long. But it forced Barlow to take action after Holworth had changed his mind. I don't think Barlow was too pleased at the decision of Holworth. Phelan. Offside against Hughes. Challenge by Robson. Webb. Ritchie. Marshall. Owen is outside Redfern. Milligan is square the other way. That was straight for Phelan. Brave header by Holden, but they could be in trouble. Hughes is down the middle, but Wallace is just down. Hughes. McClare, good challenge by Barlow. Robson. Martin initially, I think, thinking he was going to come on to that. Didn't give Robson an angle, but here's Paul Ince. Go wide. Well, the ball certainly being pinged around side to side, one end to the other. One of those expressions summing up the occasion, all effort. Again, the sweeper Leighton. Milligan. Red ball. Chase for Wallace. Allworth there first. Owen matched the run. Offside.
That last Manchester United attack was a classic example of their tactics in this first half. The midfield trio of Robson, Ince and Webb just giving them that little bit of domination in that area, and they're looking for Wallace from either flank with Brian McClare, both using their pace to join Hughes and try and break the offside trap.
Flag up again. Flag has been in greater use than in the first game. Many more offside decisions. Holden. Ritchie shields it from Bruce. Holden. Free kick is given. Hasn't been able to get outside this man yet, though. Rick Holden. It was caught as he cut in. 4 in the area for Oldham, now 5. Bannister's head. And Owen comes up to take it. Bannister, that was a poor header. Henry was just grasping at the ball, if you can do that with a foot. And he never looked like controlling it. And the referee feeling that Milligan should have attention for something, but Milligan says he's okay, but the referee's the boss. The referee makes it quite clear that he stopped his watch. There must be a cut. And the new Ireland B international making very light of it. I wonder if there's a wobbly tooth. Royal a little concerned. What a good player this young man is. Jim Leighton clears his lines. After early problems, he's done that well. Barlow. Milligan. Henry. A really tigerish quality about the midfield of Manchester United. Much less time for Milligan, Henry and company. And 4 days ago. Jim Leighton's played every game this season for Manchester United. Alec Ferguson in the ground. So the first half left. Andy Holden covering across the back for Oldham. Always a good time to get a goal, just on the stroke of half-time. Gives the other team a long time to think about it. And there's McClare, well watched and covered by Holden. Marshall. Straight back by Bruce, who got there first, and the flag up for offside.
Well, just a couple of minutes to go to half-time, and I think it's probably Alex Ferguson who'll go into half-time that much happier, because since that quarter of an hour, when Oldham is a bit unlucky, hit the woodwork twice, Manchester United, particularly the trio into Robson and Webb, have helped them control the game. They've really hustled Milligan and Henry, and the spare men now really are Earl Barrett and Andy Holden, neither of which are that happy when in possession of the ball, and really you need one of those back men to bring the ball out and commit the midfield of Manchester United. Otherwise they're just playing long balls in and playing into Manchester United's hands.
Marshall, the flag is up on the far side. And I wonder whether that thought that you just expressed, Trevor, is going through Joe Royle's mind, and whether he's thinking about Paul Warhurst, who's a very good player coming forward, as well as a good defender, though only 20 years old. Young man who's conquered an asthmatical problem, incidentally. Offside against Wallace. Well, we needed 3 goals in this match for a post-war record of goals scored in the 2 semi-finals. But it looks as though we're going to reach half-time without any of them. We're now into the last minute of the first period. Hughes, taken by McClare. Robson, space for Lee Martin. What a good ball, and what a disappointment that it wasn't taken. Goal kick.
He's had a very good season, Lee Martin, but that sort of situation just illustrates the problem sometimes of playing a right-footed player at left-back. If you're a naturally left-footed player, you take it in your stride, whereas there I think he was conscious of it being on his bad foot and trying to get it inside on his good foot, the right.
Milligan, offside. Moved up as one man then. It's now just a question of what Mr. Worrell has allowed for the odd stoppage. Hughes holds it up well. Robson. Barlow didn't really get it cleanly. Wallace. Martin. Just won by Henry, although not comfortably. And across the face of the goal behind him. Marshall. A look at the watch by the referee. Holden. Barlow. Pallister. Second check of the watch. And we reach half-time with as yet no clear idea as to who is going to join Crystal Palace at Wembley. The half-time score in the replay at Main Road is Oldham 0, Manchester United 0.
Well, 3-3 on Sunday. We reckon it's about 3-3 on chances, don't we, in that first half? But it's as though they've worked each other out a bit more from having played each other already.
Yes, it often happens that they find what was going on in the first match and then put that right, and so it's harder for both sides to break each other down. United have got a bit used to Oldham's deep crosses, which were very effective, and they play that as a tactic.
Palace is doing a good job on that.
Yeah, they're covering those very well. And they've also strengthened the middle of the field. I mean, it's an expensive middle of the field, I must say, United. But, they're getting a grip on the game and they're denying Oldham the chance, really, to develop moves. And they're a happy side when they are building up and passing. But the wonderful thing about the Oldham side, for a side that's not in the First Division, among the elite, is the way they try and play themselves out from the back. They don't hit a hurried ball from defence. So many sides that you see up and down the league, when they're under pressure, just give it a whack up there into the corner flag. They don't. They'll hold it and try and work their way in 3s and 4s to deliver a good ball to the front
First
players.
Division style outfit, and they've proved it all season, haven't they, really?
Yes, they have, but United, with that deathly grip in the middle of the field at the moment, are really threatening to dominate the tactical side of the game, and Oldham are a little bit unhappy and uneasy about that.
Jim. We'll look back at one or two of the moments in due course. But now Steve Coppell, the Crystal Palace manager, isn't at this game, but he'll be watching, of course. But earlier today, he reflected on his side's great victory over Liverpool on Sunday.
Well, the classic way, it seems, to play Liverpool is to get at them and disrupt their rhythm and so on, and no doubt you had that in mind. For the first half hour, you hardly got out your own half, did you?
Well, I think it was very much sort of George Foreman tactics, I suppose, with Muhammad Ali. We took an awful lot for the first half, and we knew we would take a lot. We knew Liverpool would come at us strong. We had a particular game plan which we stuck to very effectively, even when Liverpool went in front. Our markers marked very well. Richard Shaw, John Pemberton, Gary O'Reilly, and John Solarco, who was playing in the unfamiliar role of left-back. All four of those people had very good games just by stopping the Liverpool players play.
Mark Bright's equaliser right at the start of the second half came really before any of us had settled down. Had you had chance to get back to your seat on the bench before he scored?
I actually was out very early for the second half. I was quite amazed when I saw John Pemberton making this fantastic run forward. He seemed to leave 2 or 3 players in his wake. And then I hadn't made my seat, and it was a bit like a pinball in the penalty box, and thank heaven Brighty managed to get up and whack it in the top of the net.
And then Gary O'Reilly turned up to do the business for you.
Yeah, he actually scored a goal the other week, which was deemed offside, which was very similar from a set piece, which fell to him, and he hit very crisply on the half volley, and it happened on this occasion as well.
And Bright's there, O'Reilly's there, and Palace, are they in front? Yes, they are.
Can you recall what your feeling was once you went 2-1 up? Did you feel, well, that's a cushion, or did you really think, right now we can win?
No, to be honest, I remembered something John Motson had told me. John Motson, I was talking to him a few weeks back, and he said the way to beat Liverpool is to score in the last 10 minutes. And I was very much aware that our goal was way beyond 10 minutes. They had, I think it was about 20 minutes to come at us. And in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, well, 20 minutes is an awful long time to hold out against them. And when Steve McMahon scored, I wasn't too bothered, because I always felt we would be stronger in extra time.
Staunton to Venison, right across the goal, McMahon! Oh, it's there! It's 2-2!
Uncharacteristic, but a great strike by Steve McMahon. We were right behind it, and I really didn't fancy him to score through a ruck of players, where he got it right in the roof of the net.
And the penalty?
Well, George Courtney was in a great position to give it. He was about 4 or 5 yards away. I don't think it was meant, but I think it was a penalty. I think John was just trying to get out of the way. I think you could see his hands went up to let Staunton run across him, and Staunton's back lift, I think, just clipped Pembroke's shin. He went down.
I think everybody must have felt you were dead then.
Yeah. At the time, again, I thought there was only about 2 or 3 minutes left, but there was almost 10 minutes, which was longer than a bargain for, and we changed back to 4-2-4 for those last minutes. And again, a set piece just saved us, and it was a good feeling seeing that goal going from Andy Gray, I must admit. Ron has been saying to me, I never realised you could jump so high and things like this. I haven't seen the incident as yet, and I can only vaguely sort of remember it, but like, it was such a good feeling, and in the matter of sort of 15 minutes I've gone through the full range of emotions, I think,
Nigel Martin also did you a tremendous job, didn't he? I mean, I remember one save right on the edge of the box from Steve McMahon.
Well, Nigel's come in, and when he came to the club, we had a lot of criticism for spending £1 million on a goalkeeper. I saw Nigel play for Bristol on a number of occasions, and I just thought he was the best of the current crop of young goalkeepers. He's a big man, he's 14 stone, he's 6 foot hard, he's got presence. You turn around and you see him, and he does give you a good feeling.
So between them all, they've got you to 90 minutes at 3-3. What did you say to them then?
I just felt our fitness would count for the final 30 minutes. I think they did surprise me a little bit with the resilience over the 90 minutes, and looking at the extra time, it's the only part of the game I have seen on video. I saw the extra time, and in my mind's eye I just thought we were stronger, but having seen the game, I thought extra time Liverpool probably edged.
And the corner that did it for you couldn't possibly work better, could it?
No. Andy Gray took an awful long time sort of setting up for the corner, and I always think that's a bad thing. You know, the longer you wait and the longer you try and make it perfect, the worse it usually becomes, or worse it usually turns out. But he hit a great ball at the near post, and Andy Thorne got a really great flick on, and Alan Pardew's must have made 200 odd runs like that on all our corners this season, eventually came up trumps.
You also looked to me as though you said there's something of a record for your departure from the bench to the dressing room. Didn't you want to stay and share in the atmosphere?
Well, not really. I do think there's altogether too much emphasis put on managers and coaches and things now in football today. And we've gone through, again, the full range of emotions, particularly this season. Now we were beaten 9-0, and you know, it's humiliating to get into the record books for all the wrong reasons. And we've been up and down this season, and to come through it all and to win a semi-final is the finest feeling ever.
He's there and he's happy. If you're just tuning in, it's 0-0 here between Oldham and Manchester United, but we had some near misses in that first half. Oldham scored in 6 minutes, I think, on Sunday, and they came very close to doing the same here in 7 minutes today, yes, with that Henry.
And Jim Leighton was at fault on Sunday, and today, or tonight rather, he made a wonderful save, as you'll see here. That from the first angle, you may not get the actual fingertip touch that he got to the ball. It was a great shot there. See that? Just a fingertip. That was a save.
I think.
We'll take another look at that. It's worth doing because it was a complete reverse. Just see if we can get that touch with the... There, just off the fingers and onto the bar, which was a superb save, because from the moment that left Henry's boot, I thought it was a goal. We're in the corner, actually, at that end, so it was, yeah, we had a very good view of that particular bit of excitement.
Been interesting if that had gone in. Hughes has played better tonight, hasn't he?
He
didn't have a great game on Sunday, as you said earlier.
No. He's up there on his own, and they do depend on him to sort of link movements together, but also he was very fiery when he got through for this shot. It was a lovely, lovely volley. People tell me that this is not a volley because the ball touches the ground beforehand, but it bounces once, twice, the ball's in the air, and what about that? Horwath doesn't hold it, but he's got himself between the ball and the goal, which is the main thing.
Yeah.
So it's... Mark Hughes, I think, can be the difference because they depend so much on him as the main player up front, either to run and take defenders out of the way to make space for other people, either McClare maybe or Wallace, or himself, you know, to make dangerous through runs and to keep him under pressure.
Now, Ian Marshall, I've just learnt, is not coming on for the second half, and Warhurst comes on.
Yes.
They might miss him. I think he's gone off with a strain of some kind, but he had a chance here in the first half.
He was going at full stretch. Look at the way that the determination in that run and the shot with the left foot, well saved by Leighton, who's been, you know, just absolutely perfect in goal.
Yeah, he's always looked quite dangerous, Marshall, in both matches, hasn't he? And
he has, and bearing in mind he was a defender to start with. Yeah, he's a useful all-round player.
What difference will that make to Oldham now with
Well,
Warhurst
another midfield player, but Warhurst is a very pacey player. Joe Roy told me beforehand that he makes Barrett look slow. So he's got some pace and running power, and it would be interesting to see how he does use him.
Let's see what happens then. Here's Barry Davies again. Barry.
Paul Warhurst is standing on the centre line. He's made his name in the side as a defender, came on to play in midfield, on Sunday, and now at least will start by playing up front. But I wonder, Trevor Brooking, whether he'll drop back into midfield and they'll play just Ritchie up, and that will balance things a bit more in the middle of the field.
Well, the interesting thing is that, of course, Joe Roll did have Roger Palmer that he could have brought on, who is a striker, so he could have played him up with Andy Ritchie. So you do wonder, the fact that Manchester United have got those three, Ince, Robson and Webb, who have been quite dominant in midfield, whether Warhurst will drop back, although from the kick-off there, he's gone straight up alongside Andy Ritchie, so perhaps Joe Roll does want to change his formation for the opposition.
And here's Redfern, beaten by Martin, but he's certainly pushing well forward too. Well won by Bruce. Irwin's cross. And Warhurst with the knockdown. And Martin didn't stand on any ceremony at all. Warhurst, 20 years old, was a player here at Main Road with Manchester City, but was released and joined Oldham. Some talent in my book. He's now on the near post. Ritchie right in front of the goalkeeper. Cover on the near post was by the England captain. Barlow is the back man and plays it safe. Hall, who started briefly over the other side, has wandered across to collect the ball on the left, and wander is the right word. Here's Warhurst! Turned away by Pallister. Discussion between Bruce and Leighton. Ball was given away by McClare initially.
And that was where, in fact, as you see, Ricky Holden whips it in, and although he came for it, Jim Leighton, he didn't get there, and in fact he and Bruce made a sandwich of Warhurst, and that's why he's getting treatment now. But one of the reasons, of course, he could have brought Warhurst on rather than Palmer is his electric pace, and playing the offside as well, Manchester United, that extra yard or two did take him clear of their back line.
Ritchie again just in front of the goalkeeper. Acrobatically out by Robson. Ince. Put in by Holden. John Hallworth, who's really shared the goalkeeping position with Andy Rhodes. Rhodes has played 4 times more, in fact, but Hallworth has had the FA Cup run. Well, it's a little slow to react. Owen. Off Martin. Barrett. Barlow was so tight to McClare. And Warhurst just wondered for a second. It's out. Warhurst is certainly pushing well forward, right on to Steve Bruce. Pallister between Warhurst and Ritchie. Barrett. Flexibility of formation. Tactical changes have been a feature of Joe Royle's team during the course of the season. The flag is up. Clear trip by Ritchie. Bannister staying down just to make sure that the flag had been waved. And the cry about Ritchie being a reject of Manchester United, I think it would be truer to say that he chose to go. Went off to Brighton, then to Leeds, for whom he played in the semi-final. And now to Oldham, where he's enjoying the best years of quite a good career. Whether he was right to leave United as a 19-year-old, well, he says there's no point in looking back. Robson. Redfern. Still Robson. Wallace. Robson just inside. Give it me back. He's screaming to be given it back. Wallace. Oh, it's going to go in. Yes, McClare. Brian McClare. Is that going to be another crucial goal in the FA Cup? Scored the winner in rounds 5 and 6. Brian Robson who started the move. Wallace, it got a little nick, and there was McClare all alone for as easy a goal as he will probably ever score. Unlucky deflection by Henry. Referee says play on, although the flag went up briefly. Redfern. Barrett. Significant that Brian Robson started that, but he didn't get the ball back, and doubtless is pleased now.
Well, a couple of crunching tackles by Brian Robson, touched it out to Danny Wallace, and then was shouting for the return for 20 or 30 yards, and here Danny Wallace really just in the end whacked across, got the cruel deflection really, and there Brian McClare, the sort of opportunity you dream about, 3 or 4 yards out, the goalkeeper stranded the other side, and it's 1-0, and Oldham another test of character really. On Sunday they were 2-1 down, 3-2 down, they came back, but it's asking a lot to lift themselves once again.
Barrett. Plenty of time. Look at the weight of the ball to Irwin. I say plenty of time because that's the way he plays. He's the sort of player who seems to have time, whatever the pressure. McClare, chase for Webb. Holden will get there first. Gives a bit of cricket practice to his goalkeeper. Well, he certainly won't be counting his chickens. Alec Ferguson in the middle there. Chin-ups and Jim McGregor, the other two. Oh, well played. Bruce bangs it away. Henry put under pressure immediately by Ince. It's been a major difference.
Poor old Nicky Henry be wondering what he's done to upset everyone, because there he was, hit the underside of the crossbar one end early in the first half, and now early in the second half a cruel deflection sets up the United goal.
I can't remember the exact accurate quote, but something on the lines of those whom the gods adore, they first make suffer. I wonder if there's to be a different finish yet.
I believe you anyway, Barry.
Barlow. Milligan is well forward. Bannister. Ince. Hughes made a good run. McClare is inside. Ince is down the middle. Number 2. So wanted to finish what he'd started. It got a little deflection, and that time the deflection counted for Oldham.
Little touch off Dennis Irwin's head and just took it away on that occasion from Paul Ince. But of course, you mentioned Michael Milligan getting forward now, and of course that's what Oldham have got to do. But it does mean that they are going to be prone to that counter-attack as well, because suddenly a goal and the whole pitch opens up a little bit.
We've had 10 minutes of the second half. Manchester United have the lead. Ryan McClare, who hasn't found goals easy this season. It's his 8th only, but his 3rd in the FA Cup. Joe Royle down on the bench. And the words were to Roger Palmer, who is warming up, the other substitute. One of the many qualities to admire in Joe Royle. He doesn't mess about, he makes up his mind what he's going to do and does it. Warhurst and Bruce. He's got to match Bruce in a physical sense.
If he does bring Roger Palmer on, what he's done on several occasions is just play 3 men at the back when he needs to get back in the game, push Roger Palmer, play 3 up, and leave a lot of responsibility on Earl Barrett at the back.
Won by Holden, Milligan, Ince, Wallace. Useful ball, curled off the outside of his boot. Robson just couldn't find enough room and enough balance. Holden just offside. And the moment for the substitution to be made. And he's pulling off a defender, Joe Royle. Andy Barlow, the Oldham lad, the only one in the team, is coming off. Oldham ball, that is. And he's replaced by the former Manchester City favourite, Roger Palmer. 31 years old, scored the equalising goal at 3-3 and pushed his Oldham record up to 137 on Sunday. At the moment, Milligan has dropped back. And Barrett is playing on the left side of the defence. But as you said, Trevor, sure when possession is won, Milligan won't be found there, and there will only be 3 at the back. Owen just banged away. First touch for Palmer. Finds Warhurst. That's useful. Ritchie. Offside given. That must have been tight. It's a frustrating thing for a forward when the flag keeps going up. But they were all appealing. Ince. Good touch by Webb. Redfern. Free kick.
Tactically, they are just going to play 3 at the back and put Roger Palmer just behind the front 2 of Ritchie and Warhurst, and so Alex Ferguson has immediately countered by bringing Brian Robson back to do a marking job on Palmer, so it's all cat and mouse stuff at the moment.
There's Al Barrett. Ritchie down the left touchline. Forward of the man in possession, who is Oldham. Pretty wild challenge by Michael Phelan. Played well there, Michael Phelan, making up for missing the semi-final with Norwich City. This was costly to Norwich. Oldham to take the free kick. Ritchie. Oldham again. Early cross. Out by Martin. 1 against 1 here. Clare made the run inside. Wallace couldn't take it. It was played behind his stride. Wallace. Ince. Ince has gone on, wasn't given it. Webb played the more obvious ball. And Oldham have left 3 up and they're marked by 2. Now Palmer thinks that he ought to come back a bit. I think he was wrong. Ritchie. But even on the wrong side of things, Oldham Athletic are a breath of fresh air. Palmer. Good play by Pallister. Chasing. Couldn't hold it in though. It's a throw. Barrett. Holden. Good play, free kick. Lovely piece of play by Rick Holden because he saw the man outside him and fooled Phelan initially into believing the pass was going to go there, and Phelan catches him very, very late and is quite rightly booked.
Well, that was the third one, wasn't it, in 10 minutes, and now really from Oldham's point of view, I'm sure Joe Burrell will get a message out there. He'll give Rick Holden as much of the ball as you can, because Michael Phelan is going to be very conscious now of not diving in too much in case he does get the red card.
And Rick Holden, as Aston Villa will know, quite capable of hitting a shot from this sort of range. Six Oldham players, now Milligan makes it 7. Just around the 18-yard area. And the man furthest back is halfway into the United half, with the obvious exception of Horwath. It's a good strike and it got deflected and it's off the post. Milligan. From Irwin's shot. It came off Webb, off Milligan, off the post. United survive and Milligan forces Leighton to produce his best.
If you're an Oldham supporter, you might be wondering if it's not going to be your night there. Shake of the head by Mike Milligan. First the one when Leighton was stranded, hit the post, and then another great save by Leighton for the second one.
2 in the 6-yard box, 4 outside it. Knocked down by Holden. Banged away by Martin. Push out, says Jim Leighton. But this is a fine comeback by Oldham Athletic. don't think there's any doubt they are a side worthy of the First Division, but they have to get there, and they're going to probably have to do it the hard way via the playoffs. And Jim Leighton, who's been criticised and has had his problems this season, has also made some crucial saves in this one. If Oldham could get one, it might be difficult for United to come back, because the swing at the moment is certainly Oldham's way, but United have the precious lead. Not across the face of his goal by Phelan. Holden. Henry and Robson. Wallace. Now the chance of a break. Owen has come across. Hughes in the middle. McClare far side. And Looker was back to cover. Michael Milligan. I cannot believe that Jack Charlton has any doubt after his performance here, Milligan, on Sunday and this evening, that he should be a member of the Republic of Ireland squad. But I have to say, international managers have on occasion not agreed with the odd observation I've made. Offside by against Michael Phelan.
He's certainly been outstanding in these two matches, and he played very well in the B match as well. But Oldham, as you say, showed a terrific character to come back like they have. And I think it's important Manchester United don't just try and hang on to their one-goal lead, but to try and be positive themselves if they possibly can. You know, because to be fair, credit to Oldham, they have pushed them back.
Both the managers now down on the bench. Milligan. Chance of a break from McClare. Wallace looked a little bit suspiciously offside, but McClare certainly wasn't. Wallace takes it, McClare in the middle, Hughes at the back post. It could and should have been all over. And that incident coming at the halfway point of the second half. Wallace ran on. Took a lot of time. McClare's in the middle. Hughes out of picture at the moment. Is at the back post. There he is, number 10. And Wallace couldn't find him.
That was a great opportunity. To be fair, I thought Danny Wallace was yards offside, and Brian McClare made a great run from out wide and wasn't offside, but Danny Wallace was. He then took possession. And probably from Manchester United's point of view, it might have been better if it was Brian McClare, because I think he would have given a much better cross to Mark Hughes, who then certainly 3-1. I don't think there would have been any way back. 2-0, should I say, Dave?
Forcing Alec Ferguson to live a little longer on his nerves. And it will be an opportunity, greatly regretted, if Oldham could pull back. But it'll be over Brian Robson's dead body. In a manner of speaking. Owen. Yes, the U was justified. This is the Christmas back pass you've ever seen. Holden. They've got to give him service, and I think he's got to stay pretty wide. By Phelan. Milligan. Free kick surely against Hughes, yes. Robson beaten to it by Ritchie. Palmer. One or two looks, but no more. Owen. Oldham goes wide left. This is for Warhurst. Martin clears for Manchester United. Fascinating contest. First division side being penned back, but always looking dangerous when they break away. 20 minutes left. Ryan McClare's goal dividing the teams. Palmer with the nod down. Goal, if you've joined us late, came in the 51st minute. McClare. United feeling they are being hard done by the referee. Line of 5 on the 18-yard line. Bruce up well. Martin just thumps it away. Barrett denies the pass wide. That was just enough because the second pass wide, he's made under far greater pressure than the first one would have been if the interception hadn't come. Holden. Pallister will be happy to let that run. United throw. Play on, says the referee. Milligan. Forced in the end to play the negative pass by the persistence of United's front two. Warhurst. Barrett. Oldham throw. Owen. 5 up for Oldham. And I think it was Palmer who moved too quickly. Both managers with observations to make. So hard on these occasions to be on the fringe of the battle, hoping you can be heard through the crowd. Palmer, can he go straight? No, he can't. Good play by Bruce. And Henry tried to set an outrageous dummy. Flag is up again. Offside. He's just got enough of that under pressure from Henry. Barrett. Back three coping, even if quite often they have to play the way they're facing. And United often given leather out of defence. It stretches the back three. That's got a little bit of a deflection. And Hughes leaning all the way on Owen.
Just to illustrate, Joe Roll's mind never goes to sleep. He's made another switch. Warhurst back now to play in the back three and put the extra height of Andy Holden up front to see if he can win 1 or 2 balls up there.
I think that might also owe something to Warhurst matching the pace of the breaks. First cry from the United supporters of "we're going to Wembley" would be Manchester United's 11th appearance in the final, equaling the record of Arsenal, Everton and Newcastle. And 6 of the previous 10 occasions, Manchester United have come home with the cup. Last time in '85. Free kick for the challenge on Robs. "15 minutes left. Good duck out by Barrett. He's forced to play it though, but it is then foul by McClair. A little under a quarter of an hour of Oldham's 55th match of the season. Their 17th cup tie in the Littlewoods and FA Cups. Contrast for United, it's match number 41. Oldham coming to wander for it. Hughes didn't know he had it. Wallace making the diagonal run. Holden. There's a law which covers things like that at that moment. Royal wanted Warhurst up front, although even he would have been pushed. Palmer, good clearance by Phelan. Some last-ditch stuff going on. Too short for Rick Holden. Wallace. Ince goes again and collects. No, he doesn't. And Ince a little disappointed. He does make some very, very good runs and hasn't always been given the ball when he felt that he should have been.
And probably at this stage of the match, it'd be him who would be making more of the forward runs, with Neil Webber and Brian Robson both back after long injuries, done very well, but must eventually be feeling the pace, and at 1-0 up they certainly don't want to make too many forward runs.
Wallace calmly back. Paul Ince and McClair, if he had completed the 360 degrees, would have had a goal scoring opportunity. Palmer. Goal kick. Oldham's free kick, and a substitution to be made by Manchester United. Colin Gibson preparing to enter the fray. Says to batten down the hatches, one suspects. There are 11 minutes left, and Manchester United lead by Brian McClair's goal in the 51st minute. Wallace using the most rounded part of his physique just to get his backside into Warhurst and put him off. Ritchie. kick is given against Bruce. Oldham will take it, but not from there. Or indeed not until the substitution has been made. Indication from Gerald, you want to bring on the substitute? And Alec Ferguson declines. The free kick is taken. Owen, it suddenly opened up in front of him. Owen again. Milligan. Holden. Appeal for handball. Not given. Holden's cross, it's a bit short. And it runs to Ritchie! Andy Ritchie! The man who began his career as a teenager at Old Trafford has beaten Jim Leighton, and again in this quite remarkable FA Cup semi-final. It is all square. It was deflected across by Webb and thumped home by Andy Ritchie.
That was amazing because Alex Ferguson was thinking of making a substitution. Here we have it at the moment. It's Neil Webb going off and Colin Gibson coming on. Alex Ferguson declined to make it because he didn't want to bring somebody on while they were defending from a set piece. And ironically enough, by not making that substitution perhaps, it just relaxed everyone. Concentration went a little bit. And there Andy Ritchie tucks it away. I have to say, I think all neutrals would feel Oldham, they came back so well, I think they did deserve that equaliser.
That's from United's viewpoint. The deflection that took the ball straight through Phelan. But there was the nod by Webb, and it went through Phelan, and Ritchie, unmarked, rifled it in. His 26th goal of the season. Third in the FA Cup. Well, I was suggesting earlier that the balance was swinging towards Oldham and what might happen if Joe Royal's side were able to get the equaliser. Stumble, first by Warhurst, then by McClare. McClare turns into Henry. It was almost side by Martin, and then brought down by McClare.
Now, a lot of sides, when they've got back 1-1, would revert to the old formation, but Joe Roll and Oldham have stuck to just 3 at the back, and it is an example, really, Manchester United were sitting on that 1-0, thinking, well, can we hold on, whereas Oldham are continuing to push forward, and suddenly United have got to change tactics, I think.
Here's Owen, masses of blue shirts forward. Corner. Oldham's 8th, Manchester United have had half that number. Ritchie on the line. Well claimed.
I'm always a little bit concerned with Jim Leighton on crossing, but that was a great take under a lot of pressure.
Is coming from the Oldham supporters, would you believe? Barrett. Well, they're entitled to a moment of respite. Ritchie. 6 minutes left. 1-1 the score. McClare for Manchester United, Ritchie for Oldham. Bruce had to really climb. Ince and Palmer, free kick against Palmer. Hughes. Brian Robson, he's gone for the return, but it doesn't come. Henry. Holden and Bruce.
I think that's what Man United have got to do. They get Brian Robson and Paul Ince pushing forward, because if they sit back and wait, they'll get beat. They've got to go and try and get ahead again, because at the moment they're being pushed back on their own half.
Wallace, we're into the last 5 minutes of the normal 90. Extra time will, of course, follow if it remains that way. But here is Hughes with the nod down. Milligan did the right thing. Being followed by Gibson, but I'm not sure whether Hallworth would have got there if Milligan hadn't put the ball away.
He's been magnificent tonight.
Wallace to take the corner. Panister's come to the near post. Clear just in front of the goalkeeper. Hughes on the far side, out by Owen, but not that cleanly. Robson is offside. We're 4 minutes away from extra time. Run by Barrett. Didn't like the challenge. He has passing words. Three times now Alec Ferguson must have felt that his team was there twice on Sunday. And again here. Leighton applauds the back pass, which bothered supporters but not the goalkeeper. We're inside 3 minutes. Oldham. Holden. That's a wasted ball. This is Gibson. Play it away, says Hallworth. Goal kick. ...120 minutes on Sunday. Coming up to 89 minutes on Wednesday. Still no decision. Won't make that. Warhurst, good chest trap. Henry, good turn. Surely was fouled by Hughes. No, says the referee. This is Phelan as we move into the last minute. Gibson far side. Wallace coming short for it. Scrambling on all fours. Phelan's cross is way behind the goal. And some of the Manchester United supporters not very happy with that cross.
Well, it must be a bit frustrating. The side's been ahead twice on Sunday, once for a long time this evening, and suddenly here we're all square. I wonder what little twists and drama we've got to come in extra time.
Well, I defy anybody to know. Owen. It's just a question now what time Joe Worrell has allowed for the odd stoppage. Here is Andy Ritchie. Brian Robson with him. Redfern. Still Neil Redfern. 2 against 2. Pallister's headed clearance. McClare. Wallace. Loses out to Barrett. Rick Holden. Falls back inside. Good covering header by Robson because Palmer was behind him, but I think the flag is up. Yes, it is.
And when that whistle goes, I think it's Alex Ferguson who's going to have to do the more talking, the more organisation. There's Brian Robson at the moment almost playing sweeper alongside Bruce and Pallister, and you just wonder how Alex Ferguson's going to change it so as he can wrestle the initiative away from an Oldham side that are just surging forward at the moment.
It is extra time for the second time. Thunderous applause. A fine comeback by Oldham Athletic. When Manchester United took the lead through Brian McClare in the 51st minute, they certainly picked up the gauntlet, and Andy Ritchie came up with the equaliser in the 81st minute. Fantastic cup tie that's lived up to expectations which perhaps we had no right to expect after Sunday. Well, Jimmy Hill, which way will it go now?
Well, I'm just wondering what the managers are saying. I mean, they're in this position so often they can't think of anything new, any fresh words to bring about the magic that will solve this cup tie. It's been interesting to note the tactical inventiveness of Joe Royle, very positive. Brought on a substitute. His first one was compulsory, he had to do that, but then when they found themselves behind, they not only changed their tactics and put another player forward, but they changed the pace of their game and started to hit longer balls forward earlier, which is not their normal game, and put pressure on United in another way because they realised they were short of time. And once again, Holden's second cross found a target, Ritchie, and it paid off. United, of course, have got the problems now with Brian Robson. He's lasted out well for the 2 games, but when you've been away as long as he has, it doesn't speak really well. There he is getting a little refreshment, but it doesn't speak really well for the fact that those, not aged legs, but in footballers' terms, they've run a lot of miles, are going to be as fresh as the others. McClare got them back in the game there, of course. And this was the deflection, I think. If we just watch here, there's the goal. That deflected, you see, unluckily off Milligan and put the whole of the Oldham defence out. And there, of course, is McClare scoring from about the same position he scored against Newcastle to break his duck and to get them this far. There's the equaliser. Now, you see, again, it's on such narrow threads. The ball slithered its way there past outstanding players and feet, stretching out, and just got through to the final target. So it will be extremely difficult to forecast what's going to happen in this game at the moment because so many of the incidents have been sort of balanced on a knife edge.
Well, it's Andy Ritchie's goal which has taken us into extra time. Obviously we are staying here at Main Road, so the news which will follow this semi-final will now be at 10:10. So the news at 10:10, and I wonder what the news will be from here at Main Road. I remember, Trevor, the second part of that quote about the gods. They first make mad is the quote, and I think that might well apply most to Alex Ferguson.
Well, I'm very bad on quotes, Barry, so I shall leave them to you. I mean, what really, looking at the extra time chats by both managers, you could see the smiles and the eagerness were in the Oldham faces, and it's somehow, psychologically, when you've been ahead of Manchester United, Alex Ferguson has got to lift his team. They've got a lot of experience, but, having sort of on 3 occasions, 2 on Sunday and 1 here tonight, felt they were going to get to Wembley and had it wrenched away from them. It's going to be important, I think, the first few minutes, just to see who is going to start off with a bit between the teeth and gain that early sort of hold on proceedings. But I mean, after what's gone on up to now, I'm certainly not going to predict what's going to happen in these next 30 minutes.
So it's round to the positions that the two goalkeepers had in the second half. Manchester United looking for their 11th appearance in the final. Oldham striving to be the first second division side since Queen's Park Rangers in 1982. Here's Michael Phelan. Queuing up in the middle, out by Barrett, only to Ince. Oh, what a strike! What a strike! And it came back off the post. Goodness me. That was a marvellous strike from a totally two-footed player. Good heavens. It was almost up to Hallworth before he started to move for it.
I think you might say to his teammates, it's all right, I had it covered, but that one was well past him, wrapped up him. A superb strike. I mean, good enough to win any game, but on this night of woodwork, it wasn't to be again.
Unlucky United. Still a buzz going around the ground. Milligan. Holden. Couldn't wait with Robson around. Warhurst. Palmer. Rick Holden. Four waiting for a cross. Holden forced across the front of the defence. Redfern trying to attack the space behind the fullback. Finds Ritchie. Turn. Palmer. Didn't know where it had gone. Wallace, a lack of concentration, and he's had a few flattering moments, hasn't produced the goods for United. Henry. Ince has had another fine game for Manchester United. Says it's an Oldham throw. Wallace goes to dispute the point. The frustrations of the hour or of extra time. Good chest, picked up by Brian Robson. And Barrett tried to get there first this time. Got there first that time. His recovery is so quick. Dennis Irwin in possession. Ritchie. Well claimed by Leighton. And he got a knock on the hand. I think he said that he had the ball. Owen is hurt, but even then tried to make a challenge. This is Martin. This is Ince, two ahead of him. Milligan. Oh, what a stretch. I think that was inadvertent, but the referee's given the free kick.
Bit of mutual respect, I think, for those two midfielders. Paul Ince and Mike Milligan have both had two excellent matches for their respective sides. Dennis Irwin looks okay. Very important, of course, for Oldham with both subs on, but no one gets injured at this stage.
Palmer, Bruce, offside against Ritchie. Time for a smile. That says much for the players. Says much for the spirit. Same as on Sunday. Well, we've had 5 minutes of the first period of extra time. No addition to the score. There was an early goal in extra time on Sunday. I do rather feel that if Manchester United are to win it, that Paul Ince will have a say somewhere in the move, and probably this fella Milligan will, if it's to be Oldham. There has to be another replay. It would be in a week's time, back here at Main Road. And Hughes left a bit of an imprint on Barrett, but Barrett got up without concern. Because another draw would further complicate Oldham's attempt to get into the First Division. Free kick against Neil Redfern. And then their defeats in semi-finals, Manchester United, they lost to Wolves in '89 and twice to Leeds. On the last occasion in 1970, it was after a second replay. Five up for Oldham. Palmer's head. Redfern. Ritchie. Three waiting for a cross. Bruce denies it for the moment. Milligan tells Palmer where to go and then puts the ball there, and Palmer does well, and so does Leighton. Although Palmer could have got underneath the ball a little bit more, then what?
I think he did extremely well just to keep it in, because it was just a little bit running out of play. But still at the moment, Oldham pushing Manchester United back, and United finding it difficult to get men forward to support their strikers.
It's just a throw, and that's somewhat unorthodox way of winning the ball finally by old Barrett. Wallace, Martin, Hughes trying to turn his man. And here's Paul Ince again, at an extra touch this time. And the shot in the end is with his left foot. Offside. Gibson. Well hit. It's side netting.
I think if you went up this side, good picture of it here. Once you see the net bulge on the other side of the ground for 1 minute, you think the ball's in the net, but it wasn't, and we're still one apiece.
Ince. It's in everything for Manchester United. Robson. Ince. Phelan starts to move in and then pulls out wide, which gives him now a chance for a good cross. Martin down. Wallace topped it. Wallace again. Blocked. Motivation out of the performance that we've seen from these players, and the last man is going to get into the action. Mark Robbins. His extra pace will be a test. Well played by Redfern. Couldn't carry the ball. Well played by Robson. Free kick. The snarl is followed by a handshake.
was a good chance at the other end for Danny Wallace. Lee Martin, who looks as if he's going to make way. In fact, for Mark Robbins to come on and probably Colin Gibson go back to left back, headed it back very well, and Danny Wallace had a couple of opportunities, haven't he, just before 90 minutes when he broke clear and had a bad cross, missed out Mark Hughes, and there a good chance really.
And his 92nd minute goal on Sunday must seem light years away. We've had 10 minutes of the first 15 of extra time. Still 1-1, the goals in 51 minutes and 81 minutes. First McClare for United, then Ritchie for Oldham Athletic. Lee Martin comes off. The pacey Mark Robbins comes on. Keeping up a sequence for him. 4 matches on the trot in which he's been used as a substitute. Played the last 15 minutes on Sunday. It's got a bit longer this time. Three up for United. Robbins immediately in the action. McClare couldn't take it. Offside against Robbins. The man who started it all with the winner at Nottingham Forest in round 3, when everybody said it was make or break for Alec Ferguson. Well, they've said that roughly every Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday since. This, in fact, is the first time that Manchester United have played a cup tie when it hasn't been on a Sunday. I suppose you have to say, Trevor, still no decision on the beleaguered Manchester United manager. Place in the final could make such a difference.
He seems to have got it within his grasp so many occasions over the last couple of matches, but each time this Oldham team has shown their character and come back. I think it probably needed a change to bring on Robbins, because, as I said, if Man United had sat back and they were getting pushed back, I think Oldham would have got the goal. It just seemed to have taken that little initial burst at the start of extra time, and the game now a little bit of a lull perhaps before the final twist of drum.
And like those two youngsters, both teams in a way hanging on to their Wembley hopes. Milligan loses out to Hughes. Bruce. Ince. Bit of a wild challenge, but Oldham keep possession. Holden, Phelan coming from the wrong side, but doing well. And now can send United away. Didn't succeed. Warhurst in the way. Ball's out. And it's a Manchester United throw. And Holden, like Wallace before him, finds that a desperate decision. If he had our view, he would know it was right. Warhurst, time to look. Henry, Milligan, Palmer, intercepted by Brian Robson. And not well used by the England skipper. It's coming down to Andy Holden. Good header on to Neil Redfern. Palmer is in the middle, but the ball isn't.
Long ball through there, headed by Brian Robson, and considering he has been out a long while, he's lasted the pace very well. There was a blood-curdling tackle a couple of minutes ago as well on Mike Milligan, and he certainly doesn't seem to be slowing down at all.
Well, the two goals have meant that the post-war semi-final record has been equalled, bringing the total to 15. Manchester United against Fulham and Bolton against Blackburn achieved that tally in 1958. Free kick as we come into the last minute of the first period. The position doesn't change, the endeavour goes on. Owen again. Well gathered in. Good strike too. Phelan. Again, we're playing stoppage time. Gibson there first. Milligan. Irwin. He's got to go back. Ritchie wants it, but isn't given it. And the reason is that the whistle has gone for the halfway point of extra time. And Paul Ince so unlucky with the superb drive. He's got a few points to make too. I should tell you it's to colleagues and not to anybody in an official capacity. But it really was a great left-footed strike.
That was Mark Robbins actually, who was feeling the end of Paul Ince's tongue. He hasn't been on that long, so I don't know what he's done wrong, but he certainly was making a point, wasn't he? I'm not sure what that sort of thing is what you need at halfway through extra time.
The last 15 minutes. Ritchie. It's a long way. Put out by Pallister. Corner number 9 is quickly taken. Nick Henry tries to curl. Not enough. It was the end where his shot via the nail of Jim Leighton came back off the crossbar. Jim Leighton knew that one was curling away. Or at least not curling in enough. Ince. Ritchie. Difficult even for the referee to find space. Gibson. 4 United players attacking with him now. 5. Broken up by Barrett. Neil Redfern. Barrett is the player making the run outside him. 3 down the middle, 1 square. Bannister's head. Milligan at that moment in the back 4. Steve Bruce, the man for whom he's deputised so often this season as captain. Brian Robson. Wallace. John Holworth was available, but Irwin with time to turn. Little flick from Redfern. Puts it back a little fortuitously. Henry, his legs let him down like a young colt trying too much too soon. But in fact it's trying too much after so long. Ritchie, taken by Pallister well. No width for United. Hughes offers a bit. Warhurst goes with him. Paul Ince. Wallace on the left touchline. That was deflected. Ritchie, Palmer and Holden forward for Oldham. Redfern. Showing plenty of party pieces, Redfern. Henry. Holden. Go inside, says Phelan. I want to go outside, I'm sure, says Holden. But he goes in. And Redfern tries to get on the end. It was his head which made the last contact, I think. Holden's cross. Yes, but the near side was covered by Jim Leighton. Phelan really has denied Holden getting around him on the outside. Free kick against Mark Hughes for action that only he could really explain. Second thoughts, I'm not sure that even he could. Owen takes it. Ritchie and Robson, no danger. It's thoroughly understandable, but exhaustion and nerves are beginning to inhibit the play. But here's Robson, push and shove. And Wallace finding the goalkeeper there before him. Referee didn't blow the whistle.
There's a good little interchange, but good header by Robbins. And there, Irwin trying to shield the ball, stumbles, and Danny Wallace's little legs couldn't stretch out far enough to get a toe-in past Hallworth.
Conclusive proof that the referee was right. Sudden increase in impetus again. Phelan. Robbins! Yes! What a remarkable record this young man has got. His third goal in the FA Cup. And again, Alec Ferguson's side is within touching distance of Wembley. Took 2 touches and then it was a direct hit rather than a hit shot. Scored against Nottingham Forest, scored up at Newcastle, scores against Oldham Athletic.
A great run by Michael Phelan on the right-hand side at this stage in the match. And then Mark Robbins, he must like us coming to these live games. He does score them, doesn't he? And really kept his composure superbly, because he had a lot of time, he took the time, picked his spot, and it was a clinical finish.
Chase for Robbins again. Warhurst gets there first. Robbins' goal coming in the 111th minute. Supposed to be unlucky for cricketers. And there are under 8 minutes remaining now. Offside anyway.
I hesitate to say, can Oldham come back, because we've said it so many times, but there's Joe Royal on the bench, wondering, I'm sure, the same question.
The expression on the face of Ian Marshall. And for the second time, the Manchester United supporters break into the song of "We're Going to Wembley." And now marching with Fergie's army. Oldham have 7 minutes to do the amazing. more concerned to be a rugby player than a round ball exponent. Doesn't deserve to be on the losing side, it's Michael Milligan. This will be a marvellous semi-final to win, but a desperate one to lose. Wallace. Clare back again. Trying to turn. Good play by Nick Henry. Just didn't commit himself, just said, you've got to get round me one way or the other. And McClare tried so hard to do so. Warhurst. Holden. Henry. Palmer just couldn't take it. Well tackled by Bruce. Hughes. Goalkeeper will get there first. It was a real opportunity for Wallace to play a better ball than that. 5 minutes left. Minutes of a total of 240. Offside against Ritchie. Robson. Offside. Oldham with 5 forwards, the midfield pushing forward. They've got 4 minutes. Warhurst. Holden. Still Holden. Bannister to meet him. Looked ungainly, but it was effective. Holden once more. 4 waiting. Milligan makes it 5. And now they could be called out. McClare in possession. Wallace doesn't want to make the run for the ball inside the back, and that allows 3-4 defenders now to get back. McClare stayed on the touchline, Wallace, instead of making the run so the ball could be played inside the fullback. Wallace again, Robbins in the middle. Owen trying to set things up once more for Oldham. Free kick against Gibson. And suddenly, Manchester United, according to their supporters, are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. Joe Ryle for sure can be proud of his, whatever happens in the remaining seconds here. And the neutrals would wish them well in their attempt to get to the First Division, because they look a First Division outfit. Here's Hughes for Manchester United. Paul Ince, right foot shot. A real grubber too. Smiling this time. Robbins. We're into the last 2 minutes. Ritchie. Henry does well to dig it out because it wasn't the best of passes. Holden. Again, Phelan shows him inside, and Oldham doesn't seem to quite have the pace to get outside. Or does he? Or does he? The answer's no. Couldn't make himself enough room to get the left foot around. It was a very interesting selection by Alec Ferguson at the start to pick Michael Phelan to mark Rick Oldham, and although the threat has always been there, Michael Phelan, if United come through, has won the day.
Well, he's done as well as most, or better than most fullbacks who have played against Ricky Oldham. And of course, the all-important thing was he still had enough stamina to get up there in extra time and create that Mark Robins goal.
We're into the last minute. Away by Robson. Milligan. Andy Ritchie. Oh, good save! A real teaser by Andy Ritchie, who bemoans his fortune, but should instead congratulate the goalkeeper. Comes down to Oldham. And again, Phelan is the boss. One look at the watch. Milligan tries to launch himself. United come away with it. Robins to chase. Warhurst with him. A look at the watch from Joe Royle. A crescendo of whistles. It's been a marvellous semi-final ever since 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. And we're now past 10 o'clock, 10:05 on Wednesday evening, and still not yet all over. Palmer! It's too much for them to bear. But one or two Oldham heads went at that moment. They may feel that was the last chance. And I think they could be right. Oldham fear it will be all over. And all over it is now. Manchester United are at Wembley. The winning goal scored by a man, Mark Robins, who may wonder whether he will have a place in the final itself. But he's taken Manchester United to the FA Cup final and ended Oldham Athletic's dream of going to Wembley in two finals. But how well Joe Royle's side have played. 2-1 to United.
Well done, United, but you have to feel sorry for Oldham. I had a conversation here on Sunday morning with Alex Ferguson. He said young Mark Robins is the best finisher in our club. He certainly got them to Wembley.
We did. We talked before about superstition and whether he was their lucky omen because he scored in the third, the fifth, and the semi-final. But it was, you know, it was a nice ball inside that got to him past Barrett's heel. But it looked for a moment if he hadn't got down cleanly. But a natural goal scorer just found the spot in the goal that was vacant and eased it past the keeper. You see, it was like most of the incidents occurred, just a fine measure of luck, that ball going through. One touch, two touch, and a low shot into the corner of the net.
As you say, a goal scorer's instinct entirely.
No panic. The net's there to put the ball in, so why shouldn't we do it?
But Oldham could have pulled it out of the fire right at the end. Ritchie had that chance, Palmer had a chance.
Absolutely.
They never gave up.
They kept the excitement going right to the end, and all credit to them.
Yeah, there was that very early chance that they had when Henry nearly put the ball in the net.
I talked about the game being on a knife edge at half-time, and really this showed exactly what it was. There's the shot. Leighton makes the fingertip save, right? It goes up, hits the bar,
and did it go
comes
over the
down.
line?
Does that go over the line? Is the whole of the ball over the whole of the line?
It's the perennial story. Let's hear from Alex Ferguson. We can get a quick word with him.
Alec Ferguson, what are your feelings of that result?
Oh, we're in the final. We didn't play particularly well. But I said that before the game. We played some great stuff on Sunday and lost the lead twice. And I wasn't minded if we have a scrappy game, play badly and win. And we win. And we played, to me, the best side we've played this season.
What does it mean to Manchester United, Alec?
Well, it means that we can give those people something. A disappointing season in the league. That support deserves it. That to me is the most important thing. And hopefully the players will develop from their success and that happens a lot of that.
Super. Alec, congratulations. Thanks very much indeed for stopping.
Okay, after.
We'll make a date for you. Wembley, May the 12th. Crystal Palace against Manchester United, the cup final. We'll be there. Hope you will too. Cheerio.
We're sorry if you joined us at 5 past.